Good morning, I'm Brian Battle from Performance Trust Capital Partners here from the floor of the CME Group. Well, a quiet night overnight in the stock and the bond markets, but we're really focusing on central bank policy. The two central banks that are really in the headlines these days are the Bank of Japan and the U.S. Federal Reserve. First, let's start overseas. The Bank of Japan had a commentary last night. They had talking about policy, and they thought everything was okay. They're going to keep printing yen, and that the rise in Japanese bond rates were due to maybe underlying growth in the economy. I think they might be mismeasuring that, but that's their opinion. So no change from the Bank of Japan. The yen got to 103 handle. That's about a 16% sell-off so far this year. They're going to keep trying to make the yen cheaper to make Japanese exports more competitive. Back here in the States, central banks are the headlines in 2 points. First is we get the release of the Fed minutes from the last meeting, so we'll see how strong the debate is that quantitative easing works or it doesn't. So we'll be able to read into the minutes for that. And then at 9 o'clock Central Time here in Chicago, Ben Bernanke is giving testimony to the Joint Committee of Congress about the economy. So he'll make some benign comments about the economy. He will gently chide Congress that they need to do their part on the public policy part. They have to rein in government spending, and then there'll be some Q&A. So maybe there'll be some fireworks during the Q&A. It's kind of a chance to grandstand a little bit there in Washington. So we'll be watching that testimony and especially the minutes. Watch the 10-year Treasury, about a 193 right now. We tested 2%, but never got through there. That's a very important technical and psychological level. It's 2% on the U.S. 10-year because the Fed's trying to hold rates low. And the 10-year is where mortgage rates are benchmarked off of. So they got to try and keep it below 2%. I think the real trouble comes if we get to 205 or a 208. That's where some real technical support ends. And then I don't know where the bottom is after that. Doesn't seem like we're going to get there today. So we'll be watching Fed testimony at 9 and then the minutes at about noon here in Chicago time. We'll talk a little bit later and see how things went from the floor of the CME Group. That's it.